In a move that has reignited fierce debate and national soul-searching, former USA President Donald Trump, now back in office, recently resurfaced his old 51st state rhetoric regarding Canada, though initially framed as a joke in earlier speeches. Trump's latest remarks at a rally in Ohio carried a more serious undertone. "We could run Canada better than their own people," he said, drawing loud cheers from his base, but stunned reactions from across the border. Despite walking back the statement later through a spokesperson, the damage had been done, rekindling old wounds and inflaming tensions between two of the world's closest allies. This time, however, the annexation talk was not dismissed as mere bluster. Canadian media outlets gave it front-page attention, and political commentators across the spectrum questioned the intent behind such statements. Was it a calculated distraction amid trade tensions, or a genuine provocation to unsettle Canada during sensitive economic negotiations? Whatever the reason, the public backlash in Canada was swift and unapologetic. The remarks came in the midst of an already volatile trade climate. Trump had just slapped an aggressive 35% tariff on Canadian imports not covered under the USMCA, citing economic betrayal and alleged issues such as fentanyl trafficking. The coinciding of the tariff hike and annexation comment created a perfect storm, stoking not only economic concerns but nationalistic emotion in Canada, unlike anything seen in recent memory. As a result, a grassroots wave of patriotism erupted across the country. By Canadian campaigns, long present in niche circles, became mainstream overnight. Grocery stores prominently labeled produce and goods with maple leaf stickers, and social media influencers began flooding platforms with videos promoting local brands and homegrown talent. Even major corporations like Tim Hortons and Canadian Tire jumped on board, running ad campaigns with slogans such as True North, "Strong and proud," and "No tariffs here, just Canada." The cultural response was equally fierce. At a recent NHL playoff game in Vancouver, the American national anthem was met with a chorus of boos, an almost unheard-of gesture in a country known for its polite diplomacy. Meanwhile, Canadian musicians like The Weeknd, Shawn Mendes, and Avril Lavigne began reposting patriotic content, and fashion brands released limited edition gear featuring slogans like "Canada is not for sale" and "We the True North." Political leaders responded with calculated defiance. Prime Minister Mark Carney dismissed Trump's comments as a desperate appeal to chaos and reaffirmed Canada's sovereignty with a passionate address in Parliament. "Canada is not a province of anyone," he said. "We are a nation built on unity, not subjugation." Opposition parties echoed the sentiment, with even typically pro-American voices in the conservative camp calling Trump's rhetoric reckless and dangerous. Academics and historians have weighed in, noting that while the idea of annexation may sound absurd on its face, such talk plays into a deeper narrative of American dominance over its northern neighbor. They pointed to historical examples, such as the War of 1812 and softwood lumber disputes, to illustrate how sovereignty has long been a sensitive issue in Canada. Trump's comments struck a nerve because it reminded Canadians that economic dependency can sometimes blur into political vulnerability, said one political science professor from McGill University. Ironically, Trump's rhetoric may have backfired. Instead of sowing confusion or weakening Canada's resolve, it seems to have united the country in a rare, cross-partisan show of solidarity. Citizens from Newfoundland to BC have rallied behind a common message that Canada, despite its challenges, remains proudly independent and will stay that way. This unity has even sparked renewed discussion about diversifying trade and strengthening diplomatic ties with Europe, India, and Southeast Asia to reduce over-reliance on the USA. As Canadian flags fly higher and anti-annexation memes go viral, it is clear the 51st state talk has only reinforced what many Canadians already knew in their hearts. Their identity is not negotiable, their sovereignty is not for sale, and their place in the world is theirs to define, not dictated from across the border. Like, share, and subscribe to West is Best for more bold Canadian stories, global power plays, and national pride in the making.